What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be doing another recommendation from the comments. So if you ever see a video that you want to see me do, or a review, or a parts review, or something you see on a firearm you want to hear more about it, let me know in the comments. If I see it, I'll screenshot it. If I reply to you, chances are it's in my queue and I'm working on getting to that video. I just hope I remember and get to it. So I'm doing my best, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. But I made this video before, that's why it's called Revisited. And it's because I made this video before doing the comparison, but it was demonetized. Therefore, it didn't reach a lot of people. Because when they demonetize it, they don't push it. So people don't get to see it. But we're going to be comparing the Glock 26, in this case, Gen 3. But you can talk about Glock 26's Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. Pretty interchangeable because they're all very similar to the Glock 43x. Let's get into it. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, subscribe, tell me what your thoughts on these two handguns. Tell me which one you like better. Also, tell me what you carried today, what kind of defensive ammo, what kind of holster. Let's get into it. The Glock 43x is a polymer striker-fired handgun with a 3.3-inch barrel. It comes with a flush 10-round mag from the factory, but they do offer shield arms mags and PSA dagger mags that are 15+1. And what's so important about those other options is this is the length of a Glock 19, which is also 15+1, but it's thinner. And there's a lot of options out there like the Hellcat, the P365, the Shield Plus, and so on that have more capacity and are smaller and so on. But at the same time, I don't look at that as a negative because of some stuff we're going to get into. The Glock 43x has the best grip angle and ergonomics out of any Glock. The second you up it, you're on target. Those sights are already ready to go. And I absolutely love that about the 43x. It feels natural in my hands. It fits my hands perfectly. I can get my whole grip on that handgun, and it works really well. Now, I don't carry my 43x very often except for the winter. And the only magazines I'll carry with are OEM mags. But when I'm at the range, yes, I'm going to be using dagger mags, and I'm going to be using shield arms mags. And for the record, I have 8 Gen 2 shield arms mags. I have 1 Gen 3, and I have 2 dagger mags. They've all been 100% reliable. But wait a second. I've done a couple polls on my channel, and every time I ask, it goes about 50-50. 50% of the people have had massive issues, 50% of the people haven't had issues. And a lot of times when I watch these videos on YouTube of people shooting with those mags, a lot of times you can watch their shooting technique, and they're causing the issue. So I would chalk it up that they tend to be about 60 to 70% reliable and about 30% unreliable. It's just about getting lucky. But something I will not risk getting lucky with is my life or my family's life, my kids' life. So I carry OEM 10+1 is just fine. And the reason why it's just fine is this handgun shoots so clean, so smooth, and it's just an awesome handgun. All firearms have been safety checked and cleared prior to the video. And I just want to get into that Glock 43x trigger real quick because it is the best trigger out of any Glock. The Glock 43x, the Glock 48, the Glock 43, and 42 all have better triggers. So all the slim lines have better triggers. And let's take a look at it. Crisp, clean, tactile, audible, reset on point. Handgun doesn't move when you pull that trigger. So easy to shoot. So that's one of the pluses about the 43x. Other than reliable, which mine's been 100% reliable, even with aftermarket parts, even with aftermarket mags, it just runs. And after reliability, I focus on shootability. And this thing is just so shootable. It's definitely more shootable than the P365, more shootable than the Hellcat, more shootable than almost any other Micro 9 out there. And I definitely equate that to being the grip angle, and the overall shootability of the ergonomics. The ergonomics play a huge role in this handgun success. Now, if I could conceal this, I would carry this a lot more. But in the summertime, because of that long grip, I have a harder time. One thing I wish Glock would have done with the 43x is give us, 8 rounds and leave us a flush mag here, and then 10 rounds with a grip sleeve on it at this length. That would have been awesome. The ability to shorten this and make it smaller into a Glock 43 size would have been huge, because a lot of people don't realize that inch and a half really does matter when it comes down to concealed carry for a lot of people with certain body styles. And with my body style being slimmer, having a little bit of a dad belly and so on, this pokes out a little bit too much. But during the winter and fall and spring, I do carry this often. It's a great handgun. Like I said, 100% reliable. I got this when it first came out. I actually bought it in a Glock 48. But like I said, it uses the same upper as a 43. the 43X and the 48. They're all interchangeable. You can put a 48 upper on a 43 lower. You can put your 48 upper on your 43X. You can put your 43X upper on your 48. They all are interchangeable, and I absolutely love that. All the parts are the same, and so on, when it comes to the slide and the upper. The lower is a little different when it comes to part compatibility, simply because of the width of the handgun. Now, the Glock 43X has been one of the most successful handguns ever launched, ever released, and a lot of people do complain about the capacity, especially with the X macro and stuff like that. But for me, it's all in the shootability. It's all in that Glock reliability name. It's all in the fact that I can run whatever through this handgun and it eats every single thing up. It's very important to me that my handguns can eat my favorite defensive ammos. If they can't eat Civil Liberty defense rounds or underwood extreme defenders, then it's probably not a reliable handgun. Therefore, the fact that the 43X eats everything and is just an awesome handgun, I absolutely love it. So people can conceal this easily or just want another concealed carry option for certain months of the year and stuff like that, this is the way to go. You can get your full purchase on that handgun. My hand takes up just down to that mag, so it's basically perfect for this handgun. I wear size large gloves for reference. I do have fat fingers because they're always swollen from plumbing, but feels so good in the hand. I love the 43X. And actually what's interesting about this video is the 43X has grown on me a lot. And it's weird because I was sort of against the 43X at first because of the capacity and stuff like that, but the more I shot mine, the more I fell in love with it. And the more my hands have gotten to where they're at now with pain and stuff like that, this handgun really serves my hands well. So it's almost like a relief gripping this handgun compared to some of the other handguns I own. So I love the 43X. Not a single thing against it. Next up is the Glock 26. Now, I do have to say this is my go-to everyday carry. Not with this optic. This is just for testing right now, so you can ignore the optic. But this handgun has been great. Everything's stock on it except for the slide, obviously, and I changed out the sights for a co-witness. And if you're wondering, though, that is the Viridian RFX 44 enclosed emitter. It's very thin, very small, very easy to conceal carry still. And I added a Henning Group base plate and a little bit of grip. Glocks have terrible grip, so I tend to add a little bit of texturing in certain places, like here and here, just to give it a little bit more, traction. But the number one complaint about the 26 is the fact that it doesn't have a rail. Well, my 43X doesn't have a rail either. They do make the TLR6 for both of them, but I don't go out at night. I have kids, I have a family. I'm expected to be home as I want to be home. I want to be with my family. I don't want to be out doing anything else. So I only carry lights on firearms, on certain firearms. Like my Hellcat, I have one setup that's for daytime, one setup for nighttime with a light on it. I also have setups like my Glock 23 for nighttime shooting in the woods and also self-defense in the woods. And I also have lights on my home defense options. But I mostly only carry during the day because that's when I'm out. And at home I have all my stuff, so I'm not really worried. But so that doesn't really affect me. The other complaint about the Glock 26 is basically the complete opposite of the 43X. Both of these are 10 rounds with the flush mag. And let's take a look at that. So if you could picture not having that base plate on there, that's how much longer it is. I mean, it's much longer. It's crazy. And for the same 10+1 capacity. But then you look at width, and it's going to be wider in all dimensions. And the thing is, it's 0.16 inches wider in the frame, but 0.26 inches wider in the slide. So when it comes down to it, this is easier for me to conceal. Because when I throw that flush 10-round mag in there, I'm just fine shooting this thing. This thing handles recoil much better than the 43X. Therefore, I'm fine with 2 fingers and a pinky underneath. That's how I carry with that flush mag. But you can also throw this on here. This right here is a 13+1 setup. And look at the comparison right now. 13+1 on the left, 10+1 on the right. Using factory mags, but an aftermarket base plate. Unbelievable. So, the Glock 26 also takes all the double stack 9mm mags. If you own a Glock 19, if you own a Glock 17, a Glock 45, a Glock 19X, if you own a 33-round Glock mag, all of them can be ran out of here. This simply comes with one OEM mag from Glock. But like I said, 10+1, that's just fine for me. You can always add base plates to it, but it will get really long at that point. This being so small and compact, if you needed to, you could really slip it into a pocket. I've pocket carried a 26 and a 27 before, no problem. The finger grooves don't fit my fingers perfectly, but I also don't complain about them. They feel pretty decent still. They're not sitting perfectly in there. They're sort of on them, but it's just the shootability of the 26, the reliability of the 26. I have 13 Glock 26s, not a single malfunction through any of them. Now, I do clean and maintain my handguns, therefore that plays a big role, but not a single issue, and they eat every defensive ammo, and the recoil impulse is just so small. But it's the versatility of this handgun, shootability, and reliability that does it for me. But two are great handguns. Now, if you have the option, buy both, because they're both awesome handguns. But if you don't have the option, I always say flip a coin, because this handgun may fit your hands better. You might be able to conceal it, shoot it better, and so on. And then also in this case, it might be the same way. You might not be able to conceal that, but can conceal this and can shoot this better, and so on. But for me, the 26 has my heart. It's my favorite concealed carry, but like I said, I love my 43x. This is going nowhere. This is staying in my rotation, my collection. I absolutely love this thing. It's honestly a relief gripping this handgun, even after holding the 26. So, two great handguns. Can't go wrong with either of them. Both reliable, both Glocks. People talk down on Glocks. I don't understand it. I get they're not as innovative and stuff like that, but that's fine with me, because if it goes bang when I need it to, when it comes down to my family's lives, that's what I'm asking for. And they rarely ever have issues. Two awesome handguns. Let's also do length. Sorry, they're 3.4 inch barrels. They're the same exact length barrel. Sorry, I forgot that. It's not a 3.3, it's a 3.4 inch barrel. Absolutely love this thing. Two great handguns. Can't go wrong with either. Flip a coin. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.